Have you ever felt like you're working nonstop but somehow your efforts don't amount to much? You sit down to study, focus on a project, but every little distraction pulls you away: your phone, a random thought, maybe even the fear of failure. You try to get back on track, but time slips through your fingers, and at the end of the day, nothing truly significant has been accomplished. It's frustrating, isn't it? The world seems to reward those who have talent or natural ability. But here's the truth: it's not the smartest or the most talented who succeed. It's those who can focus. Those who can keep their eyes on the prize and not let distractions derail them. Today's story is about a young man named Daniel, who learned that focus is the invisible power that turns dreams into reality. Daniel was always a dreamer. Ever since he was young, he imagined himself achieving great things. Maybe a successful entrepreneur, a software engineer, or a philanthropist who would change the world. But there was a catch: his focus was fragile. It would slip away every time something caught his attention. Whenever he sat down to study, his mind would wander. Every time he promised himself he'd work harder, his phone would buzz with notifications, his thoughts would race, and his focus would shatter. At first, Daniel thought it was harmless. He was smart after all. He believed that his natural talent would make up for it. But as time went on, things started to slip. His grades in school dropped. He fell behind on important projects. His friends and peers started to advance while he felt stuck in a cycle of distraction and procrastination. Worst of all, his confidence began to crumble. One afternoon, after another failed attempt at finishing a project he had been working on for weeks, Daniel sat on a bench outside his school. His shoulders were heavy with the weight of his frustration. "Why can't I just focus?" he asked himself. "Why can't I get anything done?" He had put so much energy into his dreams, but nothing seemed to come together. The more he tried to focus, the more the distractions took over. Daniel started to question his abilities. Maybe he wasn't cut out for this. Maybe he wasn't as smart as he thought. It was in this moment of doubt that an older man, Mr. Carter, a retired teacher and mentor known for his wisdom, sat down next to him. He had seen many students struggle, but he had learned how to overcome those struggles. "Why so down, Daniel?" Mr. Carter asked, his voice gentle but firm. "I try to focus, but I just can't," Daniel admitted. "I keep failing and I don't know what to do anymore." Mr. Carter smiled knowingly. "Come with me tomorrow. I'll show you something important." The next day, Daniel met Mr. Carter at his home. It was a small, modest house filled with books and old photographs. Mr. Carter handed him a small, empty basket. "Take this basket," he said. "Walk around the block and do not let a single pebble fall from it. You must come back with a full basket." Daniel looked at the basket, confused. "But it's an empty basket. How can I make sure nothing falls from it?" Mr. Carter just nodded. "Try. Just walk and keep your eyes on the basket." Daniel took the basket and started walking. The streets were filled with noise, people talking, cars honking, children laughing. Every time he looked away, a pebble would fall from the basket. He would quickly adjust and try to steady it, but every distraction seemed to make him lose control. By the time he returned, the basket was nearly empty. Mr. Carter watched quietly. "This is your mind, Daniel," he said. "When you let distractions take your attention away, you lose focus just like you lost the pebbles. Every time your attention wanders, something falls from your goals." Daniel's eyes widened. He realized that this wasn't just about the basket. It was about his dreams, his studies, and everything he had been struggling with. Mr. Carter explained, "Focus isn't about being perfect or working non-stop. It's about keeping your attention on what matters despite the distractions around you. Every time you give your attention to something that doesn't help your goals, you lose a piece of your focus," Mr. Carter continued. "But when you keep your eyes on what's important, distractions have no power over you." Daniel began to understand. It wasn't about trying harder, it was about keeping his focus on the things that would lead to his success. Over the next few weeks, Daniel started training himself to focus. He created a new daily routine. He scheduled time for studying, breaks, and rest. He removed distractions, put his phone in another room, and worked in short, focused bursts. At first, it was difficult. He would still feel the urge to check his phone or get distracted by his thoughts. But each time he did, he remembered the basket and the lesson Mr. Carter had taught him. Little by little, Daniel began to see the results of his efforts. His focus was becoming stronger. He could study for longer periods without getting distracted. His projects were completed on time, and they were better than he expected. Months later, Daniel faced a huge test, a big exam that would determine whether he would get a scholarship to attend the university of his dreams. This time he didn't panic. He had learned to approach challenges with a calm, focused mind. He prepared for the exam with discipline. He studied consistently, took breaks when needed, and stayed focused on his goals. When the exam day came, Daniel felt confident. He read each question carefully, took his time, and answered each one with thoughtfulness and precision. When the results came back, Daniel had passed the exam with top marks. He was awarded the scholarship and accepted into the university. But what mattered most to him wasn't the scholarship. It was the lesson he had learned about focus. His confidence had been rebuilt. He no longer doubted his ability to succeed. He had learned that true strength comes from keeping your attention on what truly matters. Daniel's journey teaches us an important lesson. Success doesn't belong to the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented. It belongs to those who can focus. Distractions will always exist, but it's up to you to decide whether you'll let them control you or whether you'll keep your attention on your goals. Thank you for watching. If Daniel's story inspired you, like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue on this journey of learning and focus together.